Welcome back to another week of the Pursuit to CIM. We're in week 4 of training. We're currently closing out an 85-mile week with a 16-mile long run, post the Life in Stride 5K. This week you'll get to see a build-up of what a week looks like building up to this race, the midweek workout, our group growing. But what you're really interested in is, can I break 15 just 3 weeks into training? Can I win the race? Or will the streak shuffle hunt me down? You're gonna have to stay tuned to the end of this video to find out. It is Monday with my boy Wesley. We're going 7 to 9 miles this morning. If you tuned in to last week's YouTube video, you know that this is a race week for me. I'm tuned out for the Life in Stride 5K, so that's what you'll get to see a lot of this week. We'll have Adrian out there getting some footage of that. But I don't run with many people here in Lexington, but Wesley is a regular, so you'll probably see him throughout this build.
Lap
but Wesley,
7:31.
introduce yourself. Who are you?
My name is Wes Preston. I love to run just anyone with anyone. Just ran the Derby half in about 1:15:04. I coach track at Asbury and cross country there as well. If I'm not there, I'm managing Chick-fil-A Turfland. Currently trying to get back in shape. Had surgery for a hernia in May, and I'm dragging along at 7:50 pace right now. But it's okay, it's a process. So Corbin's helping me out. And just running with people is always good. So that's me.
So there you got it. The two food service managers are running midday. My day started this morning at 4:30 a.m. Had to come in and open the store. On my break right now, started running at 9:15. Got to be back around 10:30, 10:45. Just dropped Wesley off at 7. Got about 20 more minutes until I need to be back in the building at work. So probably run another 2.5 miles. I'm just keeping it easy today. Heart rate staying low, a lot lower than last week, so we can get ready for the race this weekend. But man, Wesley is just a dog. Being out of shape for 6 to 8 weeks, not been able to run whatsoever, or bike, or lift. It's been nice to sort of get him back out here. One of the more genuine people I've known. He loves community. Back when I first moved up here, Wesley was reaching out to me and would come to my house at 4:30 a.m. just to run together and connect. So it's been awesome just to build that relationship. I'm able to sort of talk to him through coaching at Asbury and coaching at the collegiate level, and just talk about recruiting and how to deal with athletes. And so that's been awesome to just be able to bridge that relationship. But I'm gonna finish up another 2 or so miles, get back to work from 4:30 to 9:15, work again from 10:30 to 3:15, run again, and we got to run across town and get to Costco tonight, stock up for the month, and then we'll be back on the track for a workout tomorrow. So you'll see a little bit of that. Threshold 1600, some Ks at 10K and 5K pace, something light. Back out here, 6:30 for another double pre-dinner. Pretty long day. Worked from 4:30 to 9:15, like I said. Then worked again until 3:15, and then had to run across town to Costco to stock up on grocery shopping. But we're back out here. Woke up at 3:40. We're back out here until 6:30, getting the work in. That's just part of what it takes sometimes. One of my biggest pet peeves whenever I was coaching collegiately, or even now, just talking to people and they just want to go all in on a goal and they tell me they don't have time. My thought is, you have time for what you care about. If running's not the biggest priority in your life and you want to do some other things, if you'd rather go out to eat with some friends, that's perfectly fine. But if you're going to prioritize running and chase your goals, or whatever you're going to prioritize, you're going to make time for it. Right now, that's what I'm doing. And so a lot of my life is focused on working, making time for running, and making time for time at home with my wife. So if you're going to take anything away from this week, as we're prepping for the 5K, it's just that. Like, if you care about something enough, you'll make time for it. You'll give up some things for it, but it's just a matter of aligning your priorities to what you really want. But that's why I'm out here. So it's one of my biggest priorities. Back out here on the track today with Adrian and Corey. What I've got today is just tuning up for the race this weekend. I'm doing a mile tempo. It's going to be anywhere 5:05 to 5:10. Then we'll do some K reps. We'll do 2 at 10K-ish effort, 2 at 5K effort, and then just another K breakdown like we did last week, the 500, 300, 200. Goal today is really just to feel good at pace, get the legs sort of just turning over, feeling strong, and in rhythm on the track. So we'll be ready to go for this weekend. But was able to sit down with my coach, Jacob Thompson, yesterday. Got the training plan built out, so we'll be able to talk a little bit about that later this week, of what the next few weeks are going to look like. I got my race schedule locked in, so pretty exciting, pretty hyped up, and now ready just to get after it. So just wrapped up my afternoon lift here in the garage. As you can see, it is mega hot and I mega sweat. That was a struggle this morning during the workout. It was 75 degrees this morning by 6 a.m. So just a tough workout overall, but I overall fine with the workout. B plus, B plus workout probably. Didn't nail everything. Part of that got a little fast on the front end, made it harder on the back end. Part of that was just in different shoes, and I usually like to run 440 pace at, and so, but it was okay. Threshold mile was right at 5:02, so really 1600 split, so probably 5:04, but felt good, a little fast. Felt a little fast. Like you saw, the first 2 1Ks were 3:04 into a 3:01. So the goal for those was going to be 3:05s. Ended up doing a mile on the front end before those 1Ks, but the 1Ks were where the real work started. The mile was about 5:02. It was supposed to be around 5:05. So pretty much hit that right on the head. The first 2Ks was supposed to be around 10K effort at 3:05. Probably felt a little faster than 10K effort. 3:04, 3:01. That 3:01 probably felt like appropriate 5K effort with this heat. And then the next 2 were supposed to be closer to 5K effort, and they were, goal was 255. Knew that was going to be a pretty tough ask after the second 1K, but wanted to give it a go. 3 reps done. 3:04, 3:01, 256. Heart rate's definitely higher than I would like with the humidity, but these 255s aren't about checking the heart rate, they're about hitting the split. So got to get back on it. 3 minutes rest between the last one and this one. Ended up running the first one at 256. Was happy about that, but it took a lot out of me. Jogged around for 3 minutes, came through the next one. Came through 800 about 1 or 2 seconds off, and that's basically the pace I stayed out the rest of the way. That one hurt. 258. Supposed to run 255. We'll cut down from there. End up running 258 for the last one, so not bad, not far off the workout or off the prescribed paces. Then ended up going into a 5:32, just like we did last week in that workout video. This time the 500 was prescribed at 81 seconds, so knew I needed to come through the 400 in around 65, 66. Came through the 400 closer to 67, ended up running 83, which again, fine. Wanted to be a little bit faster. 300 was supposed to be around 49.50, ended up running 48.49, so I was happy about that. And the 200, like you'll see me talk about a lot, I love to break 30 in 200s because it doesn't happen often. Marathon legs have really got to me. Sub 30 attempt, number 2 of this block. 30.26. We'll get there. That's where we're working on speed. I'm supposed to run 29. Ran at 30, but that was all I had. Right now, we're all focused on 5K this weekend. Tonight sounds like it's going to be date night. Don't know what the plan is, but we're going to go get cleaned up. I've got a coaching call before we head out, but then my wife and I are going to go have some sort of fun date. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Good morning. It is Friday morning. It's been 2 days since I last chatted to the camera. Wednesday we had an awesome group. We had around 10 people come out, which was pretty nice. The biggest group we've had, especially in a while. Might be the biggest group we've had all time. So we had a lot of new faces. We had some faces that we hadn't seen in a while. And we had our normal crew. So it's good to have that group there. Ended up doing 10 miles at group yesterday. All right, might have been 11 miles. I don't know. Yesterday, being Thursday, did a 9-4 double. Just 9 on my lunch break at work, 4 right after work whenever I got home. And today it is currently 5:45. Just finished up my pre-race run. I'm gonna do some strides, so it'll end up being around 8 on the day. One of the big things for pre-race is really just trying to feel good. Don't want to lose a whole lot of volume, but still want to give the 5K a good effort tomorrow, so you can get an 8 miles. But we're gonna do some activation, do some strides. Usually on my strides, I'll do like 4 by 100 just to loosen the legs up. Then I'll do 2 200s at 5K pace, just so I can really feel what that effort feels like. But doing that, we've got to be at work by 7, so we'll clean up, get some breakfast, get to work. And then we have an event tonight. My buddy Joey Hartledge and his wife are adopting, and they are hosting a 1-mile race to raise funds for just the adoption process. So it's gonna be a really, really fun event, just to go out there and just support them. Not running the mile just because of the race tomorrow, but would love to just be around there. Always fun to be around runner. So hopefully you'll see some of that, and then we will catch with you tomorrow. Just finished up a 3-mile shakeout before the rest of the day. It is just after 7 a.m. So nice to be able to get this run in. No sun in sight. So going to be a very nice day. One of the cooler days of the week. We're expecting some rain later, so I have to figure out what I'm going to race in. But for now, I'm going to go get a cooler so I can just get some drinks and keep some ice in there. Keep it cold, mainly just throughout workouts, but also it'd be nice to have tonight. Just going to do that, and then we will sit down, break down the race plan, and see if we can execute later tonight. Just got back from the store, cleaned up. Now I'm sitting down, got some electrolytes, and had a banana muffin. But before I talk about the race, I really wanted to highlight some of my athletes yesterday that I coached. I went down to, like I said, one of my buddies' races he was hosting to raise money for him and his wife going through the adoption process. Ended up having 4 athletes there competing as well. It was just a 1-mile race. I had 3 men and 1 woman on the course, and had some really exciting results overall. In the men's race, had Joey Hartledge, who it was actually his event that he was putting on. He ended up running, and with all this, he hadn't honestly had much training going into it. Bill Hillock, who is one of my masters runners, who is crushing it both in the 5K all the way up to the marathon, and Robert Jolly, who is chasing down a Boston qualifier. I say that goes to show that strength is speed in terms of running. The way I program things, we do a lot of strides, but a lot of the stuff that they are doing is just getting stronger overall as runners. Bill, at the age of 44, was able to run 4:58. He's targeting 2:45 in Chicago, and so with him running Chicago, he's in the midst of the starting of his marathon block. Robert Jolly is running a marathon in just about a month or so. He's hoping to run sub 250. He's got the Boston qualifier, but really wants to make his time a little faster so he can get the buffer. And so seeing those 2 guys really be able to put in great times in the mile while in the midst of marathon training, I think just shows that the stronger you are of a runner, the better off that you're going to be at a variety of distances. The speed work we do helps with the mile. It'll ultimately, that power will help translate to the marathon, but the strength they're doing for the marathon stuff is the big stuff. On the other side, on the women's side, I had one lady running, and it was a huge day for her. She hadn't run a mile in a long time. I just started working with her. Our goal is to break 5 in the marathon later this year. She's running a marathon in December. And for this race, not knowing what to expect, she's in her 50s. I was thinking
low 9s would be a good day. We haven't done a whole lot of like speed work, really just trying to introduce some threshold work for her. But she's done a phenomenal job on being consistent, getting all of her runs in. She ends up going out and runs 8:12. She came up to me afterwards. She said, even at her age, that's the fastest mile she ran all time. So really exciting. The Lord is doing some really good things with For Glory, my coaching business. As a whole, our group and our Bible study and discipleship group has grown. But coaching-wise, that has grown as well. My athletes are performing. That's just been a prayer, as I want to do that a little bit more full-time to be able to use my passion for running as a ministry and sort of growing that. So that's been exciting. But what you're really here for is to get into the strategy going into the race later tonight. Really looking at the rest of the day. I'm waiting for my wife to get home from her long run, and then I will make a second breakfast. I'll then definitely need to get a nap in. I'll work on some plans. But for the race plan itself, we're going to have a pacer through 3K. It's going to be Keaton Thornsberry, a great runner in his own right. And he's looking to pace us through 3K. My thought from that point is to really take over from there, not let the pace settle. I have zero kick, as you have seen in my sub-30 attempts. And so the goal was really just going to be to make a hard push at 3K, make it a 2K race from there. Would like to probably run 252 to 254 for the 4th K and really just be able to fight to hold on. I think I could probably be able to put together 255 to 258 after that, after running to 252 or so. And that would put us right around 40s. That's if we come through the 3K right at 9 flatten. So excited to see how that goes. We've got a tough field. Chris Striegel, 220 marathoner in his own right, looking to run 218. He's in the midst of a marathon block for Berlin. We have Alex Mortimer, who's a great high school runner, ended up going on to run collegiately, ran at Milligan, one of the top NAI programs in the country. And then we also have Jack Braden, who recently broke 15 in his own right, ran 14:53, 14:54 as he runs for Eastern Kentucky University. So going to be a good group, going to be a fun race. Excited to get with those guys on the track, but that's sort of going to be the plan going in. Now let's see if we can execute. I'm going to work on plans, work on our team newsletter that I send out each month, and then it will be time for a nap and some lunch, and we will be leaving here around 5:30. So we're looking to race around 8:30 tonight. Might be some rain in the forecast. But we'll definitely need a nap. I usually go to bed at 8:30, so naps and coffee getting me through today. Stay tuned. Wow, what a race, what an event last night. The Life in Stride 5K was a ton of fun. Had a good crew. Weather ended up being about perfect. It rained, absolutely poured right before we got in. Made the track wet, but if that's the worst thing in the world, it cooled it off so we can take it with some perks. But the dogs came along with us. Got to see Dad run a nice 5K, so it was cool to get them sort of out there at the track. They are definitely a fan favorite, and we love being able to travel with them. But getting into the race pretty much went to plan overall in terms of nothing crazy happened. It always helps when you have a pacer and you sort of know what that pace is going to be. So we had Keaton hopping on the line. He was supposed to take us through 3K, ended up going through 3,400, which was a huge perk. But once we got off the line, it took 5 or 6 attempts in order to do so, as the gun kept dead firing, just clicking, no gun going off. So we kept resetting. But once we finally started, we ended up going out pretty even, pretty controlled, just trusting the pacer. I settled in about the 3rd or 4th place as we kept getting through the first 2 laps. We came through a K at 258, 259. And at that point, Jack Braden made a big move. I then had to make a decision. Do I want to go with him in fear that he would get away, or do I want to sort of settle back and just trust the pacer? And end up getting right up on Keaton at that point.
Good job,
and just
Corbin.
ran right on his shoulder, just to be close enough that if Jack kept going, that gap wouldn't open up anymore. Keaton was doing his job, running perfect 71, 72s. But Jack got a little antsy at 1K and wanted to make a push to see if he felt good, to see how fast he could run. After about 800 meters, Jack came back, so he settled back in the line, but that really allowed me to just stay right up on Keaton through the rest of the race. So rode that line through the next 3K. We ended up coming through 3K right around 8:57 to 8:58, which was pretty perfect. Ran 2:58s, 2:59s for the first 4K. But once Keaton stepped off, my goal was to make a huge push, and I did, effort-wise. Really stepped on the gas, tried to open up, but making that push ended up being about me running the same pace, just with the harder effort. So I was leading that pack, but tried to open up, really tried to break it open, and that's what honestly allowed me to gain a little bit of room while I sped up slightly. Splits weren't too drastic, but was able to open up on Chris and Jack pretty dramatically at that point. But once we got through the last K, probably about 800 to go, the legs are really starting to get heavy. End up running a 73 and 74 the second and third to last laps. So my legs were definitely fatiguing, and I was really starting to give in, and that gave Chris some momentum to sort of get right back up on my tail. Coming in through the last lap, I heard that I was at 13:48 to 13:49, so I knew I was going to have to run a 72, so I knew I was right on pace. If I didn't actually have a faster last lap, then I wasn't going to break 15. So we were going to put the effort in. I heard a lot of people just completely yelling. Chris was coming hot on my tail. 2 marathoners that can't kick, and Chris was coming for me. Being the host and the meet director of the meet, I felt like I was playing villain, trying to stave off the Life in Stride hero coming from the meet, but it was a lot of fun. Chris came bearing down.
Coming around the home stretch.
Come on, Corbin!
Chris is closing on him.
He's coming for you, Corbin! Let's go!
Corbin Harris. Chris Striegel.
Come on, Corbin! He's coming! He's coming! Come on, Corbin! Almost there! You got it! You got it!
My stride. If we had another 50 to 100 meters, he probably gets me, but was able to hold him off. So got the win. Got a nice little Life in Stride wooden plaque. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Not really sure what this means going forward for the marathon, but with really just 3 serious weeks of training, super pleased with where the body's at. Super pleased with my ability just to push past my comfort zone. The highest I've been able to push up my heart rate, and like since I've actually tracked heart rate got up to 184, which if you know me, that's extremely, extremely high for what I do. My last 5K, I peaked at like 177. So second fastest 5K of all time. This one off of just a short build. So a lot of confidence going forward. Really excited about what this means for the next few weeks. Just finished up 16. That is 85-ish on the week. Did this one a little bit more midday after getting home closer to 11:30 last night. Planned on running this morning, but slept in, so missed puppy training. But Boston's gonna be crushing it. We'll take him next week. Soaking in sparkling water. Gonna make some burgers with the wife and hang out and get this video out to you all tonight. But thanks for watching. Next week's gonna be our first week of double threshold, so we're really getting to starting to get into some heavier training. Appreciate you guys.